Well, hello friends, and welcome back to this edition of Mia Gaming. Today we are going to be going back to the TNA series. As you all know, the whole point of the TNA series was to quote-unquote drain the swamp. And that was successful. And we just signed Jon Moxley. So we're in pretty good shape going forward. So, of course, we got our midway through 2017 year awards. We have Okada as the top wrestler of the year. The company of the year is NJPW. The team of the year is the Golden Lovers. There's your shout out to Golden Lovers. Match of the year is Tanahashi over Okada. So that's pretty cool. Show of the year is Backlash. Young Wrestler of the Year is Yuga Hayashi. Veteran Wrestler of the Year is Togi Makabe. Female Wrestler of the Year is Mickie James. Dory Funk's apparently retiring. Raven's retiring. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Davey Boy Smith is injured. So this is where we're at. Swagger can't work right now. Davey Boy Smith is injured with, let me see if I can spell that. I say that. Cervicalalgia. I don't really know what that is, but he's out for 15 days. So we are going to advance to our next show. And of course, if you haven't tuned in the last couple episodes, most of the TNA roster you know and, well, sometimes love, sometimes hate, is gone. We have a roster that stars only the finest, and our figurehead, our face of the company, is about to be Jon Moxley. So this should be pretty interesting going forward. Now, of course, I haven't visited this series in a couple days, so it might take me a little bit to get my edge back, if you know what I'm saying. But Moxley also can't debut for at least another week. I want to say it's 2 more weeks. We have notifications, and Madison Rain's contract is ending. She is 31. She could still work. She's decently popular, so we'll go ahead and keep her on a PPA for a couple more years. Because we can afford that at this point. Because this company is really becoming profitable really quickly. And so let's advance another day. And of course, last episode was all about trying to rebuild. This episode is going to be working with what we have. We have a month to go through today, and I don't want any bad shows if I can avoid it. Happy 4th of July, game. I'm very happy that you wish me a happy 4th, but whatever. So let's auto push. Of course, Adam Cole is our world champion after the Bullet Club came in and interfered. So that is kind of the main storyline we've got going on. The Bullet Club is here. So, we have the New York Riley Center in the Tri-State region hosting us. And I guess to start out, let's try and get Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee to be good friends in real life. That did not work. So, we have our storylines. Callahan Mack, let's see. That storyline continues. Candice Rosemary, that's pretty much over. Adam Cole, EC3 is still happening. Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee is still a thing. Moose Magnus is still a thing. And Swagger Davey is still a thing because of injuries. So, Adam Cole is going to come out. He's going to be super cocky. He's going to say, I'm the champ now, which means I run this place. And then here comes EC3 like, hey, I have a rematch clause and I'm not afraid to use it. And that's kind of how that's going to go down. Then Trevor Lee will take on Kyle O'Reilly in about an 8-minute match. We're going to have Trevor Lee win. We're going to protect Kyle O'Reilly. It's going to be an open match, an all-out match, and it's going to be a tainted win. After the match, Andrew Everett's going to attack Trevor Lee because he's just totally sick of this. Then we move on to another match, and let's get some tag team action. Let's try and get Eli Drake and Joey Ryan on the same page. Against DJ-Z, who is inexplicably back after his severe injury, and his tag team partner Mark Andrews. This is me trying to make a couple tag teams. I don't know if it'll work out, but only one way to find out, isn't there? Then we're gonna get not a rant. Wow. Actually, no. Yeah, that's fine. Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson are going to rant about. Let's go with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They're going to complain about how Red Dragon has this reputation for being so good, but yet we haven't seen him team up yet in this company, TNA. Then let's get a women's division match. Candice LeRae is going to be in a match against Christina Von Eerie, because these two need to settle their differences. It's going to be a draw. It's going to get thrown out after a double DQ finish. Then Christina Von Eerie is going to get mad, and Candice LeRae is going to get beaten up for all that trouble. And you know, that means that we can have two women's storylines, which is a thing that we definitely should do. I would like the women to have their opportunities as well, so. After that, we'll get a one-on-one match. And we're going to make this an upper mid-card match. We're going to get Zack Sabre Jr. And he's going to take on Chris Sabin. We're going to make it a 12-minute match, and Zack Sabre is going to go over. We're going to protect Chris Sabin. Then we're going to have Moose taunt Magnus and be like, hey, you know, Bram and I are a team now, which means that we're outnumbering you. We're better than you. We proved it last night. Then we're going to get Will Ospreay against Rocky Romero. And we're going to go ahead and put Will Ospreay over because Will Ospreay is the future. Rocky Romero can recover from taking a loss. So, and we still haven't found Ospreay a tag team partner. So there's a few reasons. Then Rosemary is going to taunt Nixon Newell backstage, who apparently will be the next person to step up. So, Newell versus Rosemary. And kind of the storyline we're building up with this is we don't want Rosemary to win clean matches. That's not how Rosemary should be doing things within this mod. Then we're going to get the Young Bucks in a match against the Briscoes. We're going to get a messy sports entertainment finish. And the reason this is going to happen is because there's going to be interference against both teams by Red Dragon. Yeah, Young Bucks versus Briscoes is a big one that I like. I wish I could put more match notes. That's kind of crappy. And this was for the World Tag Team titles. So essentially what this is going to open us up to do is it's going to open us up to a triple threat tag team storyline. By the way, welcome to the stream, Tilly. As per usual, your presence is very much appreciated. And if you have any questions, you know what to do. Or any suggestions, you know the drill. There's that, and then let's make sure that the Briscoes are involved here. There we go. Now we're going to get EC3 firing at Adam Cole. And EC3's like, look, yet again, Adam Cole had to have his cronies. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to go out here and I'm going to win this #1 contenders match, and then I'm going to go get my title back. And that's just how it's going to go. But in order for EC3 to be the #1 contender, he has to go through Cody Rhodes. And of course, EC3 is going to pick up that win. It wouldn't really make much sense if he didn't. EC3 is going to overcome a distraction by Kenny Omega. There we go. And then after the match, we're going to have EC3 just get absolutely ransacked, get flattened, get dominated, get destroyed by the Bullet Club. Because at this point, EC3 has no allies. There's nobody here to help him. And let's run this show. So, solid opening. Adam Cole did alright. EC3 did pretty well. No one improved. That kind of sucks. Trevor Lee defeats Kyle O'Reilly in a solid match. Trevor Lee's getting better, and I like that. Lee gets attacked by Everett. Eli Drake and Joey Ryan show excellent chemistry teaming together. They lose to DJ Z and Mark Andrews, but I think I finally figured out what to do with these two, so that's pretty cool. The Young Bucks talk about how much they hate Red Dragon. Candice LeRae drew with Christina Von Eerie due to a double disqualification. And LeRae gets beaten up by Christina Von Eerie. Zack Sabre defeats Chris Sabin. Moose taunts Magnus. Ospreay defeats Romero in a really good match for Ospreay being a lower mid-carder. Ospreay is really someone I need to push. Rosemary taunts Nixon Noel. Jerry Mee draws with the Briscoes. EC3 taunts Adam Cole. And EC3 defeats Cody Rhodes, so EC3 is our new #1 contender. And then he gets beaten up by the Bullet Club. A 63 brings us plus 27. Not bad at all. This is definitely what we needed to kick off this month. So, Impact got a 0.95 TV rating, which is solid for what we are. I don't really expect too much more. So let's move on forward. And I'm very glad that I finally have something for Eli Drake. Eli Drake and Joey Ryan are going to be very solid as a team. Thanks, Tilly. I'm relieved, to say the least. So, oh, we have a decision, and I'm kind of scared. Okay, so Madison Rain signed, and while I'm at it, since it paused anyway, I'm gonna go into teams and make this a team. So let's go. Oh, there's some pretty interesting tag teams here. But the big one is going to be Eli Drake and Joey Ryan. And we're going to call it Greasy and Cocky because Joey Ryan's a greasy thing and Joey Ryan's and Eli Drake's very cocky. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could think of a better name a little later down the line, but for now, they just kind of need to be a tag team so they can gain experience. If they gain experience, then we make more money. We can actually use that to catapult Joey Ryan or Eli Drake. So that's definitely very good that we found that tag team. Is that better? Actually, I'm watching my own stream, so like... Oh yeah, there it is. That's better. Sorry about that. I didn't think about it, so... By the way, Brian, hopefully everything works out okay, and I really, really hope you bring back your channel. You really do put out excellent content, so... You know, we TEW people, we don't get the recognition we deserve for the work we do. And I've seen you put in a lot of work, not only on TEW, but on your hockey recordings, your PS4 recordings. Like, you're really good at what you do, Brian, and I really hope you come back to YouTube when you can. But regardless of that, we have a Cesaro extension offer. Oh, God. That could be huge. If we can get Cesaro and Dean Ambrose, ooh, that could be a really big thing. But for now, Jon Moxley has arrived in TNA. And obviously he's going to be the main eventer. I don't really know who else could be. So this should be pretty interesting. And we're in Texas this time. We have locker room incidents. Cody Rhodes is a dickhead. Incident has been handled, no problems. So Jon Moxley's here. And let's see if we can make Jon Moxley and Adam Cole friends. No? Well, we tried. So let's go a singles opening thing. Kenny Omega is going to be like super cocky. No. Let's do it the right way here. Mike Bennett is finally going to get a feud against Jon Moxley. So Mike Bennett's going to be like, hey, you know, I'm still one of the best wrestlers in this industry, and I'm going to prove it when I challenge anyone in the locker room, anyone in the entire wrestling industry, even if you're in that company over in Connecticut. And here comes Jon Moxley right on cue. They brawl until a match starts, and so to open up, Jon Moxley versus Mike Bennett will open this show. Moxley obviously has to win here, but we're going to make it an unclean victory, and we're going to protect Mike Bennett so that we can keep using this feud. Because I want Moxley to look really strong, but I don't want to instantly put him in the world title picture, you know. It can cause some issues. So Adam Cole then is going to respond to EC3 alone. He's going to be like, you don't think I can do this without my goons? Look, my goons are here. I'm still here trash talking you. And you know what? If you have any balls at all, you'll come meet me for a contract signing in this ring tonight. Or, you know, something to that. You know. And then we're going to have Trevor Lee against... Trevor Lee had a match last week. Let's go Andrew Everett against Pete Dunne. This match has not been done, so that's pretty cool. Pete Dunne needs to win here. We're going to have an open, all-out match. We're going to protect Andrew Everett, and it's going to be a flash pinfall due to a distraction against Andrew Everett by Trevor Lee. That way, it furthers the feud a little more. So then we're going to have Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee brawl. When suddenly, here comes... I don't even know who we have for... Here comes our authority figure, Jason Brown, I guess. I don't know. He's going to make this match a last man standing match at the next pay-per-view. Because he's sick of seeing them fight. It's getting a little annoying, you know, having the X Division contained to one team. So then we're going to get Eli Drake and Joey Ryan in a tag team against Rey Fenix and Will Ospreay. Why not? So let's go ahead and give Will Ospreay the win. And that way, Greasy and Cocky, now that they're a tag team, we could do a lot with them. For now, they're going to kind of job out a little, but once we can actually do something with them, it's going to get good. Then Magnus is going to fire at Bram. He's going to be like, well, why don't you just leave your little boyfriend in the back and come out here and fight me like a man tonight? And so that's what happens. We're going to get Bram against Magnus one-on-one. We're going to make this a wild brawl. And the winner is going to be Bram. But it's going to be by DQ because interference is going to be against Magnus by Moose. And then we're going to get a 2-on-1 beatdown where Bram and Moose take care of Magnus. Then, since we haven't had a title defense in a while, we're going to get a triple threat match. I really got to figure out who the television champion is. Jack Swagger, are you available to work? You are not, so... We haven't had a Knockouts title defense in a while, so let's do Rosemary in a triple threat against Nixon Noel and Christina Von Eerie. And the winner, of course, is going to be Rosemary. We want to protect Nixon Noel, and Christina Von Eerie needs to eat the pinfall. After outside interference against Von Eerie by Candice LeRae. Meanwhile, Rosemary is going to get beaten up by Nixon Noel, hence sealing that they're going to fight soon. So then, we'll have a match. We're going to have an upper mid-card match. Let's get Jay Lethal against Moose. It's a damn shame I can't find anything for Lethal right now because he's so good. We'll find something. We're gonna get a distraction against Moose from Bram, or not from Bram, from Magnus, because turnabout is fair play, so why not? Now Moose is gonna get beaten up by Magnus, and we don't know where Bram is. We don't know why Bram isn't here saving his partner. But we do know that that's a thing, so. Then for our main event, we're gonna get Kenny Omega against Eddie Edwards. We're gonna make this a 16-minute match. And Kenny Omega is going to pick up the victory. And so the entire club's going to come out and celebrate. When suddenly here comes EC3, Ricochet, and the Briscoes. Which of course opens us up to one more storyline. Kenny Omega against Ricochet. Excuse me. And that way, we sort of have this situation setting up where we can do the club against the people who don't like the club. Moxley got a great gimmick performance. That's pretty cool. 53, and Moxley has a retrousse nose. Already injured. You've been here for 5 minutes, man. Adam Cole cuts a promo. Everett and Pete Dunne did not wrestle very well. Everett, Lee are doing their thing. It's going to be a last man standing match at the pay-per-view. It's pretty much all you to see there. Phoenix and Ospreay won that match. Magnus taunts Bram. If you're asking why Mark Andrews, I'm not really sure where Mark Andrews came in. Also, I apologize for not advancing sooner. Or for not answering the question sooner, I should say. It didn't refresh like it's supposed to because it's being stupid. Nonetheless, a 62 rating is solid for us at this point. So, also on a side note, I am working on a 2012 mod, so that's going to be pretty cool. Alright, Cesaro, look, I need you here. You can't ditch me, man. Here you go. Here's more money. Eli Drake has good promos, cutting skills. Pete Dunne is good. Moxley is going to be dealing with this nose problem for 3 days. And we have time to move on to week 3 of July. Of course, if you haven't liked and subscribed already, you should totally do that. That'd be pretty lit. But of course, I'm very happy with the way the last couple shows went. The 2012 mod will be showcasing a lot of companies. I'm primarily working on the WWE portion so it's playable, but I will also be working on a lot of other stuff. So I'm going to be trying to make that mod playable. It's not a guarantee that it's going to work out, but hey, it's worth a shot. By the way, of course, we have breaking news in the wrestling front. Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo now both are heading to the WWE. So this women's tournament that's about to happen soon, it's got some names. I'm actually very happy about that because Kairi Hojo is a very solid worker, and my favorite female from Japan is Io Shirai. So we could see some really interesting matches in NXT. Io Shirai, Kana. Io Shirai against the Australian women who are totally not in a relationship. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so we're about a day away from getting this started, and we have notifications. Cesaro has rival bids. That's fantastic. Seriously considering both offers? Here. Never lower the mid-carder. No, you don't care? How about we pay you a little more? There we go. So Moxley is healthy. I see Elias Sampson, but I don't think that I have anything for him, so there's no point in picking him up. So let's go ahead and auto sort before we go forward. Speaking of Io Shirai, I haven't done anything major with her yet because I don't really know what to do yet. It's rough right now, but we're getting it. We're slowly getting the show under reins. So, Jon Moxley and Jack Swagger, can you two be friends? Yeah, I didn't think so. So let's open up the show. Jack Swagger still isn't here, so we can't do the storyline yet. But what we can do is we could be and we could have Jon Moxley be like, "Hey, Mike Bennett, I beat you, you piece of crap." And Mike Bennett's like, you may have beaten me once, but you had to cheat to do it. And now I'm gonna beat you up. Something to that effect, you know. Then we're going to get Simon Grimm, who I honestly kind of forgot we had on this roster because he's really not doing anything for me. He will take on Bobby Fish. And actually, this is where Simon Grimm picks up a win. And Kyle O'Reilly is going to get attacked by Kenny Omega, who's going to do everything in his power to help the Young Bucks. So, or not Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish. Why did I say Kyle O'Reilly? There we go. And let's make sure it's named right. There we go. After that, we're going to get a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match, where Greasy and Cocky test their hands against 3 randomly formed tag teams. Because why not? Here again, this is me trying my best to make tag teams. So, if some random stuff works and it sticks, that would be pretty awesome at this point. So let's go Mark Andrews, David Finlay Jr., Tyler Bate and Willie Mack, DJZ and Ray Phoenix, and Greasy and Cocky, and see what happens. And Greasy and Cocky obviously pick up the win here, so they kind of need it at this point. Then we're going to get EC3 taunting Adam Cole. He's going to be like, hey, I didn't meet you last week for that contract signing because, honestly, I would rather delay it by a little bit. You know, I'm going to do things on my time. And this time, it's my time. Basically, this is me making an excuse for forgetting, so don't judge me. So then we're going to get Ricochet in a match. And there are plenty of heels all over the board, so let's have him take on Davey Richards, who honestly isn't doing anything right now for us. So let's have Ricochet pick up a win. Then after the match, we're going to have a beatdown in the ring by the Young Bucks against Ricochet. Then we're going to get a little one-on-one knockout action as Io Shirai takes on Angelina Love. And of course, Io Shirai is going to pick up this win. Angelina Love's going to be on her way out soon anyway, so might as well give the younger talent the victory there. Then we're going to see Kenny Omega taunt Ricochet. Omega's going to be like, hey, Ricochet, you're just a spot monkey. All you can do is flip around like a fish. Or something to that effect. Then we'll get a mid-card match between Sami Callihan and... Actually, no. Let's go Kyle O'Reilly and Davey Boy Smith Jr. And Davey Boy Smith Jr. is going to pick up the victory. Then Davey Boy Smith Jr. is going to get on the mic and be like, hey, Swagger, where the hell are you? I was injured. You had no excuse not to be here. And of course, Swagger doesn't answer because, you know, he's kind of crippled. Yeah, that's a thing. Then we'll go Magnus against Jay Lethal. And Lethal can afford a loss at this point, so we're going to have Magnus pick up a win. And then Magnus is going to be like, hey, Bram, where are you? Are you coming to get me or what? Then our main event will be Adam Cole in action against Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett wins by DQ. And then this sets up this angle. Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega all come out and talk a bunch of crap. And then the Briscoes Ricochet and Ethan Carter III come out and they respond and they do a little agreement to fight next week 4-on-4 in the main event. Let's roll. Oh, and let's make Jack Swagger a personality. And let's make sure there's a storytelling match. That might help. There we go. Let's run it. So Moxley and Bennett, a 78 segment. Incredible job. Then we have Simon Grimm defeating Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish gets attacked by Omega. Greasy and Cocky still the only team with any chemistry. EC3 taunts Adam Cole. Ricochet defeats Davey Richards. The Young Bucks kick the crap out of Ricochet to try and injure him. Obviously it doesn't work. Io Shirai defeats Angelina Love, and some chemistry there. That might be something we go back to the well on. Omega taunts Ricochet. Kyle O'Reilly gets defeated by Davey Boy. Then Davey Boy talks crap about Jack Swagger. Yeah, Mike Bennett and Jon Moxley are doing well on the mic. They just can't do it in the ring. Magnus defeats Jay Lethal in another great chemistry match. That's pretty cool. Magnus taunts Bram. Then Adam Cole intentionally gets himself disqualified in 4 minutes so that they can beat the crap out of Mike Bennett. Then they get rid of him. They cut a promo. And then the anti-club, I guess, I'm not really sure what I'm calling them, come out and like start shit. So a 62, another good show. Like, this has been the best run that we've had so far in a while. So if we can get Claudio, like Claudio and Moxley would be two really big signings to have on this roster. Dash, if Dawson's contract was coming up, I'd go after you. Today's not that day. Meanwhile, I want to go through, and I think it's time to cut ties with Laredo Kid, Marsh Rocket. Let's get rid of Garza Jr. I'm getting rid of people who basically aren't doing anything for me right now. I want to spend less money, you know. And Simon Grimm, I might as well just cut because he's not doing anything for me. Do we have anyone in the main event that I want to cut? Probably not, but... yeah, no, that should probably do it. So how's Adam Cole's popularity? He's starting to get over a little bit, so that's pretty cool. Moxley, of course, isn't hurt by appearing on a third-rate television show, I guess, so that's a thing. So we move on to week 4 of TNA, and then we have a pay-per-view, and then that will be the end of the stream as per usual, and we have a decision. Claudio is here! Castagnoli has come to the TNA locker room, I guess. Eddie Edwards and Jay Briscoe are having problems. That's fantastic. Oh, I do not need that. Well, 5 days till the next Impact. But yeah, so we're going to have Claudio and Moxley. And I got to be careful not to just make that the main feud of TNA, because that solves nothing. I think that Adam Cole needs to be a main event player. And I think that signing Claudio can really help, actually. Especially after this feud with EC3 is over. Which I want to stretch it out a couple more pay-per-views if possible. Hey, I finally got the screen fixed. That's pretty cool. Yeah, usually you guys don't see it anymore because I kind of got taught what to do about it. But, like, I always have the live chat on the right, so if you ever have any questions, any comments, I will always answer them because I feel like that should be a thing that I do. And we have notifications. Swagger returned to the WWE, or returned here. Sheamus' contract is ending. Oh, that's tempting. But I don't want Sheamus, so... Sheamus is okay, there's not much I can really do with him, so... That's kind of my reasoning there. So let's go... a wrestler who is male. I want to see where we stand on this. I need to cut 3 talents at some point. Actually, you're not really doing anything for me, are you, Holmes? Well, Cesaro needs to be given his Claudio Castagnoli nickname. I just don't think there's anyone else I can cut. I mean, Al Snow's a road agent, so he doesn't really count in this list. And De Niro doesn't count either because he's color commentary. So I guess we have the roster as small as we can get it at this point. So... see if we can get Jay Briscoe and Eddie Edwards to love each other. And that definitely backfired. So that's a problem. So let's see. Adam Cole's going to come out and be like, hey, when did you get friends, EC3? Last time I checked, you're an arrogant little... and that's when EC3 comes out and says, oh, well, I got friends about the same time you started being a douchebag. They start fighting each other, and it's pretty funny, so... then we're going to get Roppongi Vice. And they will take on the team of Ricochet and Rey Fenix. See if we can't find Ricochet a tag team partner. Or Phoenix for that matter. Ricochet's going to pick up the win. And then we're going to get a taunt. And now that Jack Swagger's back, we can resume this feud between himself and Davey Boy Smith. Swagger's going to be like, hey, you know, I'm finally off the shelf. You talked about your injury, but I was injured too. And I couldn't actually move for 2 weeks. So I don't want to hear it. Then we'll get Sami Callihan against DJZ in what should be an interesting match. DJZ is going to pick up the victory. No matter how much I love Sami Callihan, DJZ is definitely better for what I'm doing. Then Moxley is going to cut a promo on Mike Bennett. I wanted to give Moxley the woman beater gimmick he used in the Indies, but it kind of doesn't work out very well, especially in this day and age. Then let's grab Marty Scurll. Let's put him against Will Ospreay. And Ospreay's going to continue his really impressive winning streak. And we're going to get Nixon Newell taunting Rosemary. Then we are going to get a 10-man battle royale between 10 women, actually. And these are going to be the women not actually involved in the storyline, but I'd like to give them something to do. And we need one more. And let's throw Nixon Newell in. Nixon Newell picks up the victory. And that's probably going to piss a lot of people off. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. Oh, it didn't? Really? Okay. So Nixon Newell, after winning that #1 Contenders match, gets blasted. A cheap shot by Rosemary. And of course, I just now see this comment, the Rolling Stones, baby. I really wish my live chat was working properly right now. It'd be really nice to interact with y'all without any issues, but see, sometimes it's not how it works. So then let's get the Briscoes versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And the Briscoes are going to win. After the match, the Briscoes are going to be attacked by the Young Bucks, who are literally looking to super kick anyone with the head at this point. Marty for X Division Champion, that may be a thing that happens. And my live chat worked that time. So now we're going to see another Jon Moxley match against EC3. Moxley's going to pick up the victory. We're going to protect EC3. And the reason this happens is going to be outside interference against EC3 by Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. And this time, no one's here to save EC3 from an epic beatdown that definitely hurt a lot. And you know what? Jon Moxley hopped in on it because Jon Moxley is the type of person who would just hop in on that, and we all know it. EC3 versus Jon Moxley is something that I do actually think that could be a possibility, especially now that he's, you know, gotten in on this. Just like I think I'm eventually going to have Claudio versus Adam Cole. So, there's a lot here. A 73 to open up the show. Good job, guys. Ricochet and Phoenix don't do terribly. Swagger taunts Davey Boy, and that was a really solid rating as well. Sami Callihan losing to DJZ. Moxley taunts Mike Bennett and gets an 89. That's great. Will Ospreay defeats Marty Scurll. Nixon Noel taunts Rosemary. Then we get the 10-woman battle royale. Angelina Love suffers elbow tendonitis, and apparently it's Madison Rain's fault. Io Shirai sustains a lumbosacral stain. Sounds painful. Strain, not stain. The Briscoes defeat the Motor City Machine Guns in a really good match. Then we get the Generation Me super kicking the hell out of the Briscoes. Moxley defeats EC3 in a 71 rating. That was fantastic. Then the club just absolutely destroys EC3 with the help of Jon Moxley. And a 73! That is the best show I have put on yet. Just fantastic. We needed that. We needed that so badly. We drained the swamp, we replaced the missing parts, and things are doing a lot better. Sami Callihan can do well in the future. Will Ospreay is turning into a good worker. As if I didn't know. And look what's next! Destination X! Unfortunately, it can't just be X Division people because I didn't think it through in time. Well, it could be. I don't know. That would kind of screw Ethan Carter III and Adam Cole. What do you think, Tilly? Do you think we should just make this exclusively X Division talent? Or should we actually have a full-on show? And we are here on Sunday, so Sheamus extends deal with the WWE. That's fine, Sheamus. I didn't really, want you. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the schedule. Since I didn't pre-plan it, we're going to make this Saturday, week 4 of August. And then Hard Justice is going to come to July. And then on the same weekend as Destination X, we're going to have Impact Wild Card. And you'll understand a little more what I mean by that pretty soon. Now, Wild Card will have some very interesting things that I'll have to reveal in the next episode, but we will do 2 pay-per-views in a row for that weekend. So this should be fun. Next month is going to be a joy to book, but for now, we got to book the end of July. Adam Cole and Dutch Mantel. Adam Cole has to buy a bunch of people drinks. Nothing out of the ordinary. Cody Rhodes and Jon Moxley are not anything, so that's crappy. So let's go ahead and do In Demand and Dish Mexico. And let's go ahead, before I forget, and do the X Division Last Man Standing match between Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee. For the X Division title. Which next month, whoever holds the X Division title gets to cash it in for a shot at the world title. But that's not going to be the only trickery going on here. That's not going to be the only opportunity for superstars. So I'm very excited to announce what Wild Card is because I've got the formula in my head. If it's bad, I'm blaming you, Tilly. Up next, we're going to get a Kenny Omega match against Ricochet. We're going to go ahead and have Ricochet win by DQ when he's interfered against by the Young Bucks. Well, what do you mean by the feud's mix? Because you got to be kind of specific here, because I'm a little confused. Also, we need to hurry up and do the Sami Callihan Willie Mack blow off, because yeah, I didn't think it through. I forgot to even touch this feud in the last few weeks. Yeah, we're just going to pretend this didn't happen. Just go ahead and give Sami Callihan another win and end it. But yeah, no, I'm not going to announce what Wildcard is until the day we open it up, because it's going to be beautiful. And of course, I should be recording the next episode of this within the next couple days, because I'm very excited about this. So, up next, let's do Jack Swagger against Davey Boy Smith Jr. At long last, we can finally do this match. Of course, Swagger's gonna win. Then, let's get one of our two women's matches out of the way. Candice LeRae against Christina Von Eerie. And Christina Von Eerie is going to win due to a flash pinfall and a tainted win. So I'm assuming that means that the tights were held. Up next, we're going to have our Tag Team Championships match. Where the Young Bucks take on the Briscoes and Red Dragon in a triple threat match. And we're going to have Matt Jackson pick up the win with, obviously, a super kick, so that's pretty cool. So Matt and Nick Jackson are going to be celebrating when suddenly here come Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. You know, you're not wrong. That would be kind of interesting. So that might be something to look into. I don't know. That might be really hard to book into EW, but hey, you never know. Then we're going to get our Jon Moxley versus Mike Bennett feud. I know that these two have awful chemistry. That's why I'm trying to get this done and over with now. Moxley's going to pick up the victory. Moxley, honestly, is probably our biggest star, so. So we've got that. We need to make that the main event. We need to do Bram versus Magnus, finally. And the special referee is going to be Moose. And Magnus is going to pick up the victory. And we are going to have Moose turn on Bram. Didn't see that coming. Oh, and we need to make sure the screwy referee's in there too. So then, after that, we're going to get the Women's Championship match between Nixon Noel and Rosemary. Rosemary, who has primarily managed to keep her title by cheating, has to defend it tonight, and Nixon Noel is not picking up the victory. There's going to be interference against Nixon Noel by Melissa Anderson. And then Rosemary and Melissa Anderson are going to beat the crap out of Nixon Noel, which begs the question, why? Of course, that'll be something you have to tune in the next episode for. But as far as this goes, it definitely gives an extension to this storyline, so gives me a good reason to continue it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we've got that. Do we have Omega Ricochet? I think we have Omega Ricochet. Yep, there we go. Now it's time for our main events. And before that, we're going to get a hype video. And this is EC3's rematch clause. And we're going to make it an Iron Man match. Adam Cole is going to win, of course. It would make no sense to have him lose. Protect EC3. We're going to have an open match, slow build. It's going to be a little bit tainted because outside interference is going to stop EC3. But this time, it's going to be Jon Moxley who does it. Jon Moxley is going to cost EC3. And to end the show, we're going to watch EC3 get beaten down by Jon Moxley, while Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson just stand, watch, and laugh. Let's run it. So, that did really crappy, to tell you the truth. Omega Ricochet, a very solid match to get the crowd back on our side. Sami Callihan defeats Willie Mack in a solid match. Davey Boy Smith and Jack Swagger, a good match there. LeRae and Christina Von Eerie. Von Eerie definitely wins that. This tag team match was solid. The Young Bucks retain their tag titles. The Young Bucks then get flattened by Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. This gives me a good reason to turn Davey Richards, so Moxley defeats Mike Bennett. Oh god. Magnus defeats Bram. Nixon Noel losing to Rosemary. Rosemary and Melissa Anderson defeat Nixon Noel. EC3 and Adam Cole are hyped. Adam Cole off his game, costing us ratings there. And language barrier problems, because apparently I don't ever learn from my mistakes. That being said, we still gained 12 and lost 2, so we'll take it for what it is. So, solid pay-per-view, not quite what I wanted, but we'll take it for what it is. And a 56 in Puerto Rico is still good, so we will check some few things, do some housekeeping before we begin next month. And everyone's unhappy. Andrew Everett has little upside, I guess. So let's go ahead and get storyline set up so that we don't have that issue again. That's not over. That's over. And we're going to add Jon Moxley to the mix. I mean, they didn't go that badly. I wouldn't worry about it too much, so... Adam Cole's going to get removed from this. We're going to alter the description. EC3 versus Jon Moxley. This storyline's finally over. This one is over. This one is definitely not. This is over. Or no, this isn't over by any means. This one is over finally. And the World Tag Team titles, we're going to need to remove some people from the storyline. And we need to add Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. So there's those storylines. Then we're going to have to figure out a world title storyline. But as far as this goes, I mean, we're getting somewhere with this company. Adam Cole's gaining popularity slowly. We've got Jon Moxley, who did the unthinkable, absolutely destroying EC3. EC3 getting better. You know, this company is definitely on the upswing. And for everyone who doubted that I could bring this company back from the dead, well, there's still a few episodes left for you to laugh about it. But that's all we have time for today, so thank you for tuning in as per usual, and we will see you soon.